one of the teachers I had in, well, I was in biology in grade 12. He was a younger teacher, so he said he was gonna, even though he's gonna teach grade 12, he was gonna focus on the stuff that we have at university. And at the time, I was like, I mean, how are you gonna know what we're gonna teach in university? But honestly, I've never really taken a biology course where I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. People always tell you, oh, you're not. It's a big jump. Are you sure you're ready? You gotta stay focused or whatever. And I heard, and for university, it's even more. Like I had people, some friends of mine that would tell me like, it's a big jump. Like you really gotta be prepared. So when I was going the first year, I was like, oh gosh, I gotta be really, I might fail. Like I gotta really be ready. And then I think I was like over worried because when I got there, it was like, oh, I know this.
I'm Glenn Herbert, and I'm an editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private schools to gain insights into their programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administrators. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
I think the thing I appreciated a lot were, I mean, there was a school side of it, but I think the extracurriculars, like, it's more so when you're there. I think you appreciate, and I think one of my things that was the coolest for me was the band, because I think I was at the time I like when we started playing instruments in grade 6. So usually when you start playing instruments, you don't really join the show band or whatever. But they made an exception for me, so which is pretty cool.
Continued to make
those. So I got to join the band with people, and then I think that was the first year we did any competitions also. So, which was I guess that kind of leads into my even some of my best memories, because I think the first year we did the competition, we were told that, because I was playing drums, so that we told there was a drum kit at the competition, so we didn't bring anything, and there was nothing. So there was like a snare drum and a cymbal maybe, so I had to improvise on everything. Got the competition.
For me, it's like I like the community spirit and like the whole environment that's there. Like everyone knows everyone. Like you could probably name everyone that was there at one time, which is kind of cool.
I think that, and I guess you won't really know what it is when you're gone now, but I think the sense of community and the opportunity, I think that presents itself when you're there, because I didn't really appreciate it until I got to university, and people were like, they didn't really do. I mean, because I guess at a bigger school, the extracurriculars you could do. But when I was there, I was on the basketball team, I was on the soccer team, I did football, I was in
math club, I did.
I was on everything. So, and I didn't know that was the thing that people didn't do, because I had been there for so long. So that, and then also I guess when you see high schools or on TV, or I guess maybe it happens in real life too, but there's I guess you kind of grade locked in, you kind of hang out. If you're grade 11, you hang out with grade 11s. Yeah. If you're in grade 12, you hang out with grade 12s. But when I was there, it was I knew people in grade 8, and when I was in high school, I knew people in grade 8. I hang out with teachers. I would hang out with all the high schools. I mean, elementary school, even I was in elementary school, it'd be multiple grades we would hang out. Also, people above me, below. So I guess it doesn't really happen too much when you're at a bigger school. Yeah. I'd probably describe it I don't know, let's like a familial, a caring kind of thing, because even now I still go back every now and then just to see the teachers and see who's there and whatnot. And I think because of that family and that sense, and it's so small that everyone kind of gets to know you, that they really care about your education and your well-being, and they try to push you in different ways and try to make you more of a complete person than if you, because it can give you that individual attention and that one-on-one, and then so I think it's a description for caring, familial sense of community. I mean, I would still say that sense of community, because I feel like we were all very close. I think we all kind of we all basically did everything together anyway. And I our class was basically the same
Yeah.
from I don't know,
All
grade
the
two maybe onward. I think for you it was
Onward,
basically
yeah.
the same. So you kind of grow up together and you
Just drop
do all
it.
the stuff together, and even then we still like I'll still talk to
Yeah, we still
some of the people like in elementary school. I mean, definitely people in high school, but also in elementary school. Yeah, so I think everyone's quite caring and welcoming, and
Yeah, and you like you know your best friend for like what 13 plus years, and you're like, wow.
yeah.
Trying a little bit of like everything. Like you're involved from like sports to like organizing events and everything, and it sort of like gives you a perspective of like everything. Whereas like you could be doing like you'd be like on the volleyball team, but then also be a part of like organizing stuff like prom or something like that. So you get like both perspectives. But
Yeah, I think in that vein also like just getting involved because and a lot and it doesn't not even just necessarily the kids, like even the parents, because we would have like events where like parents and students were getting involved and doing stuff. Like we used to have do they still have it? I don't know if they still have it. They used to have like a June fiesta, which they would have like it was like a big outdoor thing where they'd have like a bunch of stuff, and like the parents would be like I wouldn't really selling stuff, I guess,
like
but like organizing like
yeah.
stuff. Like our parents would always do cotton candy or whatever, and we'd like make cotton candy or whatever. But snow cones too, actually, at least. And they'd have like a bunch of stuff. But I think in that band, there's like getting everyone to buy into the aspect of it and then getting involved. And then I think if and more in academics, even if I guess getting involved, but then also like just being like I guess asking for help in music because there's so much opportunity I think for one-on-one, and there's like homework room and you can go up to teachers whenever and ask them for help on this or that or
They don't even have to be a teacher who teaches that.
yeah, even other grades. Yeah, I think one thing they push quite big at the school because they have like you take character education from when I don't even know when you started, but
like
all the
all
like
the way.
all through elementary school we had like character class, and that was like a big part of the curriculum. And then even with I think and more so probably even the athletics, like the gym teacher there like really pushes for determination and trying your best, and I think that's what it kind of leaves you with, like the knowledge of from the character, I guess, just to have that good character, and then just to teach you about what it means to have good character, and then the maybe just to try your best and not be scared of necessarily failure, but to learn from it and keep pushing on and keep trying your best. And
well, leadership as well. Like for us, because we were involved in like I say everything, but like to like a certain capacity, but like to be able to like lead like certain things and like organize certain events, but then also to sports, like winning is not also everything. Like you also learn things from when you lose. Like it's not as small as everyone thinks it is. Like in the moment when you look at it from outside, it's like very small, but when you get there, you're like, it's actually not that small.
Really, I would have said the opposite. I would have said, I think when people say like a school is small, I think in your head you're like, oh, okay, but when you get there and you kind of like get to know the people there, I think it's like, I think so. I think it's like you're like, oh wow, it's like you see like you see the same people all the time, and you're like,
yeah, but it's
I mean, I know what you mean, like
small though.
I know what you. I guess I don't know, but in my mind, whenever someone says something small, I'm like, okay, well, it's not gonna be that small. But like, but when you get there, it's like I think you see the same kind of people. It's kind of it's pretty like a close knit community. So you wouldn't really expect from a school, I guess. I don't know.
I think it might be something if you're in middle school and you join the school, then you could have that.
Yeah, because we weren't like it was kind of the only school we really attended.
Yeah,
so
been to
I think if after we had like gone to university, I mean university like there's a lot more people now. So.
Yeah, first year 1,000 people on the same thing you're doing.
Yeah, like I mean, like you'd be walking down the halls and you'd be like talking to
everybody,
and then now it's like, well, you're not gonna talk to everybody at university. You would never get anywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Confidence wise, totally, because we did like in high school we did like this competition where it was like a quiz with like a whole bunch of other schools, and I was on a team of them, and it was like I've never like you do things in your own school, but then not with like 6 other different schools. and I'm not that well, I'm not outgoing, but I mean like it increased like your confidence in like you interacting with other people on that scale, like people you don't have no clue who they are from different places, and like
Yeah, I think it has to. I think anything you kind of do, especially for that long, like it definitely shapes you as a person. But I think it, I think it makes it like easier to like approach people, and then because like when you're in a bigger school, I think it's harder to like go and ask for help if you need something, or especially if you don't know the people at such a personal level. But then at when a smaller school, I think it's much easier to go and approach people, and that I think that's how you have to, when you need help or something, you can't always just figure it out on your own. Sometimes you got to go and seek out a network and see who you can get help with, especially like it's a part of university for sure. So I think in that sense, it's very important. But I think so, and it's just such a small community. I think it's easier for your voice to be heard. So I think,
you're like an outgoing.
well, yeah, maybe I think it's more like you can just kind of be who you are, kind of thing. Because at a bigger school, I think you're more of just you're just a student, and especially when like a huge class. Like I mean, there's so many people there, but like when you have a class size like
You cap at like 15.
10, or I think yeah, what is it, a couple 15
Yeah.
or something, and it's like there's more
One-on-one.
yeah, more opportunity for you to shine, I guess, as well. So you can have that opportunity in the spotlight for whatever you're endeavoring. Well, I think for one thing, I kind of wish well, like when I was in elementary school, I didn't. I tried to get involved in a lot of sports, but not as many as when I was in high school. So I kind of wish I had done more stuff when I was in elementary school. But I mean, that's more hindsight, I guess. But I think another thing too is that I I don't know if necessarily a knock at, maybe more of a knock at private schools in general, but um, I guess because I mean, obviously, teachers. I think with the benefits you get at the public board, right? Like they're more than if you work at a private school. So a lot of the teachers would would leave because they would go to the private, and I mean, a public sector, or whatever. And which I mean, that's great for them, but like, and they get them more benefits, and that's amazing. But it does kind of hurt a little bit when the teacher you kind of you've gotten to know and all that stuff kind of leaves. Especially you had some weird ones. Like, there was one year where for some reason they had like 4 different math teachers.
Yep. I think our computer science teacher left 2 weeks before the final exam.
But yeah, so there is turnover definitely on the teacher side because, I mean, for I think the big one was getting to public schools, but then there's also other reasons, obviously, which I guess are unavoidable. But yeah, and that's kind of expected. But yeah, I guess when they leave, it kind of hurts as well.
Yeah. I think the amount that you're prepared for, like university or college, is like it's a lot more than you personally think when you're doing it. You're like, why am I doing this? But then when you go there first year, everything is like, for me, it was like a recap of what I did in grade 12. So it's nice to know that you learned it before, and then now you're like applying it or learning it again.
Yeah, like I think it was like one of the teachers I had in when I was in biology in grade 12. He was a younger teacher, so he said he was gonna, even though he's gonna teach grade 12, he was gonna focus on the stuff that we have for university. And at the time, I was like, I mean, how are you gonna know what we're gonna teach in university? But honestly, I've never really taken a biology course where I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, I felt like I've been prepared even. I think, whenever you're making a big jump from like elementary school to high school, people always tell you, oh, you're not, it's a big jump. Are you sure you're ready? Stay focused or whatever. And I heard, and for university, it's even more like I had some friends of mine that would tell me like, it's a big jump. Like, you really got to be prepared. So when I was going the first year, I was like, oh gosh, I might fail. Like, I got to really be ready. And then I think I was like over worried because when I got there, it was like, oh, I know this. And people would be like, oh, how do you do this? And I was like, oh, you didn't learn that in high school?
Yeah. I told people that like, go months
yeah,
ago, they were like,
I
don't know how to do this. I'm like, what?
I was like, this was pretty basic. I mean, we went over this like a lot in high school. So I felt like it prepared me a lot more than I thought. And I didn't really appreciate it at the time, but when I went to university and I was kind of ready for everything, so I was like, oh. I think opportunity. I think community, and yeah, academics, because I think they make a pretty big effort on academics and try to make you a more complete person. And it's not necessarily just academics too. Like, I mean, I did um, like when I like a lot of it's too is like presentations and whatnot. You kind of get used to that stuff because I mean, when you go to university, like, and you get up in front of your class and you got to present something, I mean, you can't really freeze up on the. I mean, I've seen people actually freeze up on the spot too, and they're just staring at you blankly. And I was like, but I think it gets you ready. I think it prepares you for the next for whatever you want to endeavor, whether it's university or college or whatever you feel like, whatever your passion leads you. I think so. I think one thing I'd say for parents is also is that like even though the students have to get involved in like it's not about the students, but in a lot of ways I think the parents also have to get involved too because a lot of you'll see like a lot of the parents getting involved in a lot of the stuff the kids do. You know, like
parent council.
They had like a bunch like even events. Some parents would be there. I think even some of the parents even like helping to coach some of the teams or something.
Oh yeah.
So I think in that way, I think once you get involved and then the parents are there too, like my dad came with us on our grad trip.
Yeah, and he also went on trips with us earlier.
So I think if you're willing to get involved and a lot of the stuff obviously like they have a lot of like after school stuff. So like our parents would pick us up pretty late. Like I think sometimes they pick us up at like 6 o'clock. So or later even. So I think once you're getting involved and kind of getting to know the school too, I think on that end, I think it also you get to see it more and you get to appreciate it more, and you can also go in and talk to the teachers too whenever you know.
And like we like interact with parents all the time too.
Yeah. I mean, like just don't be scared. I guess just go out there, just go out and have fun. I guess I mean it's kind of pretty standard advice, but I think if once you're willing to put yourself out there, I think then that's when you get to really enjoy whatever you're doing. You know, instead of not being too scared to put your best foot forward. But I think that's what you gotta do. I think you just gotta put your best foot forward and be willing to fail and try new things. And I mean, like a friend of mine asked me to join the soccer team in high school, and I had never played soccer in my life, but it was probably one of my. I ended up being like a starting member of the team, and it was a lot of fun. And I never played soccer, but it was a great memories. And
to add on, I'd say like try like a lot of the extracurricular activities that you like can be like well-rounded and know how to do like a lot of things because you might find something that you like you said soccer or something like that, but through something like you had no idea about, right?
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.